Today on the channel, we try to redeem some souls with the Redeemer Mcfarlane Toys Spawn line. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mcfarlane Toy Spawn unboxing and review. But remember, for all your Spawn needs, all your Mcfarlane toy needs, and a whole lot more, hit up Big Bad Toy Store, a link in the description below. So today, we're talking Mcfarlane Toys. We're talking about a Redeemer of Souls out there. Whenever I hear the Redeemer's name, it always brings me back to Judas Priest, Redeemer of Souls song, if you guys are familiar with that one. But also modern day, Miro from AEW, the Redeemer, he calls himself. So the Redeemer's floating around in a lot of different places, but the first Redeemer I remember was back to those mid-90s, 96, 97, whatever it was, with the Redeemer from the Spawn comic book line, toy line back in the day. As you guys know, I read the Spawn comics back when issue 1 to about, I don't know, 80, 90, something like that. So I was very familiar with the Redeemer, probably around Spawn 30-ish or so, I would imagine he showed up, if I remember right. So I was pretty familiar with the Redeemer back in the day. And as of this week, I'm filming this, Mcfarlane Toys did announce the Dark Redeemer coming. So already getting some of that typical Mcfarlane repaint stuff coming into that, and we'll talk about that in some other videos, I'm sure, in the future. But this Redeemer was one I wasn't sure on, of course. Redeemer wasn't my most favorite toy or comic book character back in the day, but it was alright. And I saw this one on the shelves, this packaging popping out, that shiny new toy, the Devil, the Angel, they got to work. And guess what? The Devil won out, and the Redeemer came home with me. It's quite the story, quite the history. You guys have seen it in my action figure hunt videos, I'm sure, in the past. But I had to pick this one up. I guess I'm all in on this Spawn line. It's hard for me not to be all in, as I started with Spawn #1. I was a big fan of Todd McFarlane's work in Marvel back in the day, and then reading the Spawn comic books, buying the Spawn action figures, McFarlane toy action figures in the 90s, and that whole mania. This is nostalgic for me, so I just had to pick it up, and I think I'm all in, outside of a few repaints that we'll talk about in other videos. But we're going to do this unboxing like we do all the other unboxings on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We'll see where it goes from there. We'll do some comparisons size-wise of this bad boy against a few other toys out there. So there you go. Fair enough. Sounds good. All right, there he is. I love this black box packaging with the green background. Man, this thing pops on the shelf. If you're at your local Target, you're back by the NECA set and you see these guys, you can't miss this box. It just screams. Then the figure, the Redeemer itself with his big wings back there, the blue, that bright kind of royal blue going on. And then the gold offset against it. Just very toyetic, very simple packaging, but very sleek and very eye-catching if you're me. Spawn right there, Redeemer right there, of course. 22 points articulation. Is that right? Yeah, 22 points articulation, 14 and up, Mcfarlane Toys logo. Some of the usual suspects there. You got a nice glamour shot going on. And then you got this blue Spawn logo there, and then the glamour shot of the figure down below. And I love the couple of feathers flocking off over there. As we know, this guy was sent from heaven to redeem some souls out there. Spawn, a very interesting comic book. A lot of, heaven and hell going on with Spawn, and Spawn being stuck where he's at. I'm not going to give you guys the whole story, but an interesting story arc for sure. Big glamour shot of the figure back there, giving you an eye of what you're truly getting in this package. Unfortunately, no blurb out there. A lot of people probably are not aware of the Redeemer story, so I guess you got to Google that yourself, because they're not going to give you any kind of blurbs or anything like that going on there. So always disappointing. You guys know I'm a sucker for a blurb. I love a good blurb. I feel like it's something that's missing in the toy industry these days. But let's get him out of the package. Let's see what's going on with this Redeemer. He's redeemed my soul already. Uh-oh. We got the wings are separately packed in here, so of course this cardboard in here is always hard to get out. I'm gonna have to fight with it. I don't want to just tear it to shreds, but I just might have to do that. Oh, got it. There it is. See you later. Get out of here. But very cool that the wings get their own packaging, I guess. Then, of course, you got that patented stand down there. I do love Mcfarlane Toys, how he gives us stands. He understands there's a lot of adult collectors out there. We need stands for our figures. We're not animals. We're not maniacs. Give us some nice stands, and that's what he does. And there's that sand, and see you later. So we got the sand right there. We got 2 wings. These are beautiful wings. I am a little nervous because my history with Spawn and action figures in general, we've had a lot of times the wings don't fit so well. So we'll see how that ends up shaking out. But let's give old Redeemer the plastic prison. There he is. Looking only like he can look, the Redeemer in the plastic prison. Very cool. I do love that blue color on the Redeemer here. He does have his sword. Oh my gosh, he's locked in all over the place. So once again, we hate it being locked in, but we like it locked in because, hey, it protects our figure, stops them from getting all jostled around on the boat they come on, stuff like that. But man, not fun if you're a little kid trying to get these out and wanting to play. You're going to have to get your parents to help you out. But it does say 14 and up on these, so I guess, in all honesty, if you're under 14, you shouldn't be watching this, you shouldn't be opening this, all that kind of fun stuff there. Even the sword has 2 twist ties locking them in. So there it is. There it is. And we're out. See you later. All right, let's get down to it. Let's take a look at some of these accessories first. Guys, we got things everywhere. First, we got this big golden Redeemer sword, a dirty gold color, a dark wash to the gold, making it look a little bit grimy. I would have liked to see different colors with this one, though. It's just kind of is what it is. I would have liked maybe some silver highlights or something. It's been so long, I don't know if I really remember this sword or what it actually looked like. So maybe it didn't have silver accents, but I would have liked a little bit more color with this one. Very easily bendable, not the sturdiest plastic out there, not super hard, but it is what it is. There it goes. And then these wings. These wings are what sets this figure off. I love the grayish white wings with the dirty dark wash to them. Really makes them stand out with the feathers. Just very, very solid. They do plug into his back and they do have a joint on them, so they are a little bit movable. But very hard, very stiff as we're used to with Mcfarlane toys, but solid wings on this. I really do like these. These do pop. The Dark Redeemer, if we've seen pictures of those, he's going to have some of these as well, so be prepared for more wings. Then you get down to the Redeemer figure, and this is where business starts picking up. Almost looks a little bit like Dr. Fate, that we've seen him on the pegs lately from Mcfarlane Toys as well. But that blue and gold really does go together. Very classic styling there. I love the spiked mohawk he's got. Not too sharp of spikes, but different spike sizes and everything else. Got very cool gold accents on his armor, I guess we'll call it. And a lot of spikes throughout, a lot of sharp points, sharp edges, sharp on his hands there. One set of hands, no extra hands with this guy. But the blue and gold together just pops immensely. Just beautiful, just beautiful. And then he's got a little bit of green color right there to offset on the belt. And then the blue, like the body color of the blue, it's got kind of a interesting texture on the back. Just really does pop in hand. All your typical Mcfarlane articulation on this guy with the double jointed elbows going on, the wrists that move up and down all around, the head of course moves, you got double jointed knees, you got the ankles that move every direction you could possibly want. Even got that patented toe articulation. You know people want that toe articulation. Then you got crosses all around his thigh here. He's got the thigh swivel as well. Or does he? Well, maybe not. Spoke too soon. No thigh swivel. It looks like he does, but maybe he does, but it's just extremely difficult. But I don't think he does, actually. He's just faking me out here. Faking me out. But very stiff joints on this one. That's how we like it on these Spawn figures, of course. Now, can we get these wings on him? That's going to be a challenge. It usually is, but we'll see. Maybe I spoke too soon. Oh, they do pop in fairly easy. Easier than I thought. A lot of time, things like these wings, they will pop in and then they'll be knocked off very easily. These aren't going anywhere. You're not going to knock these out, and I love that because how many figures have we had from Marvel Legends, you name it out there, that things like this fall off on you all the time. These aren't falling. These peg in very well. They have articulation to them, which I like. You put this guy on a flight stand, move him up. You can move him down, all around. You can move all kinds of movement out of these wings. I almost wish we had a little bit of articulation on the corners to kind of fold them in a little bit, but this is still pretty cool the way I see it and the way I sit. This is cooler than I ever thought it would be from the promo pictures we got originally. I remember seeing Gunslinger Spawn and the Redeemer Spawn saying, yeah, I'm just going to probably buy the Clown, the Violator, and the Raven Spawn. But this one won me over when I saw it in person. You really can't tell this one until you see it in person. That's how I see. Can I get this sword in his hand? That's going to be a fight. Oh, come on. Very stiff hands on him, but once again, we like that because we want it to hold in there tight. There we go, and let me stick him on that Spawn stand. Why wouldn't we? They gave us a stand for a reason. Let's use it. Oh, even tough to get him on the stand, but I got it there. No, I didn't. Okay, we'll go to stand round 2. Can I get him on this stand? Kind of weird if they don't fit on their own stand, but that might have been just a bum one. But he is going to be tough to stand, I think, with these big wings. Can we get him just to stand real quick without moving him around too much? Yeah, very back heavy on the wings, so you're going to have to find the right mix of that one. I could see this guy falling over in your display if you're not careful. But man, does this thing pop on a shelf. The big wings with the dark coloring to the wings just makes it look grimy, dirty. Like this guy's been in some battles. The sword could have had a little bit more color to it, but it is what it is. That's not a deal breaker for me. And then the blue and the gold colors just extremely pop. The packaging, a lot to like about this one. And for around $20, you really can't beat the price on these. You feel like you get a heck of a lot for your money. Just very, very cool. This one won me over pretty easily. And like I said, once you see it in person, if you're on the fence, I think you'll be bowled over and get after this one. Originally, these were all Target exclusives, but then they moved to Big Bad Toy Stores of the world and stuff like that. So you're going to be able to get some of these later. And there he goes. I knew that was going to happen. So you're going to have to really work at him to get him to stand. That's about the only negative I see with this one, really. It's just those wings are so heavy, but it's kind of to be expected, I guess. But yeah, he's not wanting to stand at all. See if I can get him here. Round 2, let's try it. But let's compare him to a few other guys out there. We unboxed Clown on the channel. Go visit this video if you have missed it. There he kind of scales against Clown. Clown much wider, of course, as you can see here. But you got Clown there. Of course, the spawn I use, we talk about all the time, the Mortal Kombat spawn. That is my go-to spawn in my collection. I wasn't buying that big Kickstarter spawn. I got to think we're going to see a lot more spawns. Every spawn line will have at least one spawn. That's what my gut tells me. Of course, he doesn't want to stand up either now. That's just the way it goes with these spawn figures. They don't want to stand up. And then you put them against, I know a lot of people use their Mcfarlane toys against their Marvel Select. So you got a little bit of Sabretooth Marvel Select I had standing here. Does scale very well. If you want to use Marvel Select with your DC Multiverse, with your spawn figures, you can kind of put those guys, feel like they're in the same universe, scaling-wise at least. That's how I see it. And then you put them next to Marvel Legends. I mean, this Marvel Legend very much looks like a little child's toy against this Redeemer spawn. It's amazing the size difference here and just the perceived value. If you said to somebody that, hey, this Marvel Legend costs the same as this Redeemer spawn, or in some instances costs more, people will probably look at you like you have two heads. I mean, it feels like this is, I don't know, quality-wise, some things to be said about some of Mcfarlane's qualities. We have had breakage in the past, as some of you guys are aware, but it seems like the newer generation figures are a little bit more sturdier than the old school ones. But if you say the perceived value, I feel like the Redeemer spawn looks like a heck of more value than your Marvel Legends here. Marvel Legends got a lot more better characters as far as I'm concerned compared to Spawn. But these Spawn figures, for that same price point, it's pretty hard to say that you don't get your money's worth out of these guys. At least that's where I see it from where I sit, which is right here, as you guys know. But what do you guys think? Are you all in on these Spawn figures? You picking up the Redeemer Spawn or the Redeemer from the Spawn line? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit your notification bell. Twitter, SirPaul64. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. Of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for another great Spawn unboxing review, another one that's way better than expected out there, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.